Hi, welcome to Knitspired. Today is Saturday, November 7th, 2015, and this is episode 3. Finally, it's been over a month since the last one that I recorded, and I've just been really busy not being busy, but keeping myself busy. Not really sure how quickly the time got away with me, but it did, and I'm really sorry. I would have liked to get more episodes out. I'm not really sure how often when I started this, I wasn't really sure how often I wanted to get my episodes out, but I was hoping like every other week, and now it's like every 6 weeks. So hopefully I'll get into a little groove there. But and like one of the reasons that it's hard is because the lighting in my house is really bad. That's one of the reasons. So I tried to record last night, but all I had was shadows from different lamps on me, and my living room lighting is bad. So it wasn't really working. Another reason is because we're always home, which means my husband's home, and it's even though he thinks this is great, I really don't want to talk to myself in front of him. So I'd rather do it by myself. So I have to do it like when the baby's sleeping and when he's gone, which he is right now. He's at the gym working out. And another reason, reason number 3, why it's really hard for me to get an episode together is because I don't really have a place to keep all my knitting in one place. Our condo is really small, and I don't really have a good setup yet. So, and I'm not very organized. So it's kind of hard. I have to make sure I get everything together and I don't miss anything, and that kind of overwhelms me. Which leads me to the reason why kind of a reason why I haven't podcast lately is I'm wondering if anybody has suggestions on staying focused. I have a very hard time with that. I want to do all these projects. I have all these ideas and like creativity coming out of my ears, and then I just get overwhelmed and I have all these like little half-finished objects everywhere, and then I can't really focus and get done what I want to get done. So if you have any suggestions for that, or tips or pointers or anything, please let me know, because when I look stuff like that up on like Pinterest or Google it or whatever, I get distracted by something else. I just am not very focused. It's really hard. So if you have any ideas or suggestions, let me know. I would love to hear from you. You can find me on Instagram as Knitspired. I don't have a lot up there yet. And you can find me on Ravelry as Mikobeeko, and all that information is in the show notes below, in the information underneath the screen, so you can check all that stuff out. And basically, like I have been busy. I'm running 2 businesses, kind of. I have a 1.5-year-old who is into everything, and I've been knitting and crocheting a lot. And also this month is NaNoWriMo. If you're familiar with that, you know, or if you're not familiar with it, it's nanowrimo.org. I'll post the information about that too. But basically, you write a novel in a month, because that is another thing that I like to do, and my creativity is like, wow, crazy. So I've been doing that for the past 3 years, or this will be the 3rd year doing it in a row. And I write a novel in a month, and I have yet to get one published because I'm not persistent enough, unfortunately. But it's fun. I'm not feeling very inspired this month. There's also NaNoWriMo, which is National Knit a Sweater Month. NaNoWriMo stands for National Novel Writers Month. It's like not an acronym, but it's all the words smushed together. So you write 50,000 words in a month. For NaNoWriMo is you knit a sweater in a month, and it has to have 50,000 stitches. So I'm feeling more inspired to do that than to write. I'm really behind on my writing right now. So I've been busy with that too. But I've been catching up on a lot of podcasts, some of my favorites. So that's what I've been doing besides all the knitting and crocheting. And yeah, I would like to start a Ravelry group soon, but I don't know that I have enough people watching. But I would love to hear some chatter. I would love to have other people ask questions. I would love to get to know other people. So if you have any suggestions, that would be, or any ideas, or if you would like me to do that, just let me know. You can message me on Ravelry. You can leave comments below, whatever. So I'm going to get into what I've been working on. I have a lot of stuff that I've been working on. I don't really like crochet. I do, but I don't. But I've kind of been doing a lot of crochet lately because it eats up a lot of yarn and it's fast. So I've been working on this little ear flap hat for the baby. Only one ear flap so far. Really easy. And it's going to have the long braids for it too. And it's pretty cute on her. I mean, I'm not crazy about it. I don't really like crochet that much, like I said. But no offense to anybody that does. I just wanted to do some crochet stuff recently. And I made this little owl hat for her too. It's really cute on her. Actually, I made two other owl hats. One with the bottom was a darker pink and one was a blue. And I also made a slouchy hat. And those 3 hats are for Tatum, Portia, and Stella, who I want to give a shout out to right now. So if you are watching, hello little girls. I sent those 3 special hats to those 3 special little ladies. And then I made one for Nadia, this one. So I also made this for Nadia, a little ear flap hat. This was knit though. And I made this because she had one like this last year when she was much smaller and we lost it. And it was my most favorite hat and it's the only one that I lost. I don't know what happened to it. I even went to stores to try to find it. Nobody had it. And then I made this for her, which looks way cuter on her than it does off her, as does this. And I had pictures of her on Facebook and my sister saw them and she said, you need to make hats like that for me in every single color possible. And you need to design them and you need to sell them. So she is a big cheerleader for me for doing that. I think I would like to do that, but I feel like everybody does that too. So why would anybody buy my stuff? I don't know. So that's some of the stuff I've been working on. I did show you last time this Raina shawl, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by Nora Levola, I think. And it's this shawl. I did show it to you before, and I do have a little bit more progress on it. It's going to be like a scarf, worn like a scarf type thing. But I kind of like fizzled out a little bit on it. And some of the reason for fizzling out is because I don't think I'm going to have enough yarn to finish it. Oh, wait a second. I have this much left. It's a kind of a messy ball right now because it was packed away because I don't have anywhere to put my stuff. Yeah, so I don't know that I have enough to actually finish it, which kind of makes me sad. I mean, I can easily get more yarn, but I don't really know what I want to do with it yet. So if you have any suggestions to make that look really cool, I was thinking maybe like a gray to finish it off, like so it would kind of be like an edging, and I think red and gray look kind of cool together. So I have that, and then because I did like to work on the shawls, I started this other shawl. It's called Pretty Basic by Janina Callio, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry. I think I said Ravelry before with the Raina shawl. But anyway, this is a free pattern also. It's Pretty Basic. That's the name of it. And her website is studiocallio.com. It's studio, Kallio.com. And I just love doing the shawl thing. And this one's really easy, but it's really pretty. And careful, it's in yellow. But I like it. It's bright, and it'll be nice and bright and sunny for all the gray days ahead. So that's coming out pretty cool. I actually really like it. I haven't really looked at it from far away. But this yarn is like a cotton blend, and I got it a few years ago at the Webb's sale in Northampton, Massachusetts with a friend. They had this big tent sale in the spring every year, and I got this big package of yarn, and I wanted yellow. So I bought yellow, and I've kind of worked it into a few different patterns, but then I ended up ripping them out. And finally, I think it's going to live in that Pretty Basic shawl pattern, and I'll be able to wear it hopefully soon. So, I showed you the hats, the crocheted hats that I already, that's what's finished, work that's finished. These hats, and I do want to put flowers on them. I just haven't gotten around to making a flower. Oh, I did, but the flower was like that big and it looked a little weird. So I need to rework that. But this is the pattern. I got it on Ravelry, but it's from Red Heart. It's the floral hat, and it's only in black and white here. That's what I printed it out on. It's a free pattern. Pretty cute though, and it looks really cute on her. It's fun. It's super, super easy to make. I can make it in the car, like if we're on a car ride. I can make it in like an hour, so it's kind of fun. And what I am doing is taking my old sock yarn and making them into granny squares. I'm going to put them all together in a blanket. And these are just two of the different yarns that I've used. I don't know if you can see that. This one's kind of hard to see. It's like a dark purple. And I have more that I'm going to make. And granny squares, because like I said before, crochet eats up a lot of yarn, and it's really fast. And having a blanket made out of these teeny little squares would be really cool. And then non-knitting stuff. I actually forgot that I had done this. I didn't do this. I just wanted to show you a bag that an old friend of mine knit for me a few years ago. She gave it to me. It's like a knitting bag. She lined it on the inside with fabric that was mine. But yeah, she specially made it for me, and I love this bag. I did not leave it. I had to bring it with me when we moved to Canada. And it's small. It's a good size, but it holds a lot inside. So that's pretty cool. So what I put inside of it is I was working on some embroidery this summer just to see like if I liked it, and I do. It's fun. And I think I'm going to make these into quilt squares and make a quilt for Nadia, or pillows, or I don't know. But here's one of them that I worked on. It's a little hard to see because of the weird light. I don't know if you can see that. That was really fun and really quick to do. And then the one that's still in the hoop is this little seahorse. Still working on that guy. But it's really fun, and I like all the different colors, and I don't know, embroidery fascinates me. So that's a couple of things that I wanted to share. And I want to make a shawl for my mom too. She recently sent a bunch of gifts up here for us, mostly for the baby. And she's a knitter. She made stuff for the baby, for Nadia. So I want to make something for her because I've never made anything for her. And I think like knitters don't get knit gifts. So I was thinking of making a shawl for her. And I was looking on Ravelry a little bit earlier, and there's quite a few like bandana style. So you can wear it as like a cowl or a scarf. So I'll probably be working on that soon too, but I need to get some more yarn. And so that's what I want to be doing. And I thought I was socked out, but I'm feeling an itch to cast on a pair of socks. I'm just not really sure what. I don't know. If anybody has suggestions for a great sock pattern, let me know. Otherwise, I might just do like a plain, easy sock pattern that I don't really have to think about like I've done before. So another thing that my mom sent me, she's been doing a lot of hand dyeing and spinning, which is a wagon that I am not about to jump onto anytime soon, just because I can't. I don't want to, but I think it's great that other people do it. I love it. It's gorgeous and beautiful and everything. But she sent me some art yarn. This is her card. Saffron Daisy Boutique, and she's on Etsy. saffrondaisy.etsy.com. But anyway, she said she did these little mini skeins for me. They're like hand-dyed yarn. This one. Hand-dyed and hand-spun. I thought that was really cool that she sent that to me. And it smells like lavender because she put a lavender sachet in the bag. So there's my little yarn from my mom, a tiny little skein. I think she said it's like 20 feet. And then she plied this one with another yarn, I guess. So she gave me that too, which is, I think she thought of me because it's really colorful. And I like really bright, colorful, funky stuff. So those will definitely be sitting somewhere, probably in like a glass vase, because my cats will eat them otherwise, and that would make me really sad. But look at that. She wrapped it with that. Isn't that cool? Like, she did that. You can't even see that. I think that's really cool. But like I said, it's just a wagon I cannot jump onto. I'm just not interested. Maybe I will be in the future. I'm glad to have my own interests and everybody does their thing, because if we all did the same thing, that would be boring. So, although I did buy roving back in the spring, back in May. So I bought some alpaca roving. So I might do like a drop spindle, something just to, I probably won't even knit with it just to do it. I think that'd be kind of cool. But okay, I have a really cool story. I was on the local online free ads. I don't know if it's in the States. I think it is Kijiji.ca, but I think it is in the States also. Kijiji.com, Kijiji. Anyway, everybody goes there. It's online free stuff. So I was looking through the other night, a couple of weeks ago, and I see at the top of it, it was a top ad. It said knitters wanted, and I was like, what? So of course I clicked on it, and it's from Canadian Alpaca, and they basically are looking for people to knit products for them, like hats, gloves, slippers, scarves, cowls, little things. They want people to use their alpaca wool, yarn, whatever, and they'll pay people to make their products with their patterns, or that's other people have submitted, or you can submit your own pattern and use their yarn. But basically they just want their yarn used. And so I clicked on the website and everything, and I was like, that's really cool. Like, I think that would be great to get paid to knit something. I've always wanted to do that. But there's actually a call for it. Like, they'll pay you to make something. And it's not a lot, but it's fun to knit it. And then, of course, if you remember the last episode, I was talking about not wanting to buy wool, especially merino wool, because of the way the animals are treated. And a lot of animals are mistreated for their wool, which makes me really sad because it's beautiful yarn, but the whole do no harm to others kind of, it just throws me off, and I really can't back that up. So I was like, oh, I really want to knit for Canadian Alpaca, but what do they treat their animals like? But it is local, so I was like, well, maybe it's, it's decent. So I look up the website. Actually, I kind of jumped the gun a little bit, and I emailed the lady right away, and I said, I knit, I do this, I do that. I would love to do this. I'm so excited. And then I looked at the website, I think because she got back to me right away, and they actually treat their animals, their alpacas, very nicely. They don't let them freeze in the winter or overheat in the summer. They help rescue alpacas and llamas and stuff. So I thought that was really cool. They kind of nursed a baby alpaca to health because he was born with crippled legs. It was a beautiful little story about him. And then I was like, well, okay, I could stand behind that. Like, there's nothing wrong with using animal wool because they're not killing them. And if they actually just need to be shorn, that's fine, So finally, after getting emailing back and forth with the lady, and I had decided that that's going to be okay. I showed her some of the stuff that I've made in the past. And she loved my stuff. I actually just went the other day. There's a farmer's market right near us in St. Jacobs, which is like a little Mennonite village close by. And it's just like this big indoor market of all kinds of different vendors and everything. So I went there and met up with Canadian Alpaca. They have a tiny little store, maybe a 12 by 12 area. Everybody has the same little area. And they had a bag with my name on it and 4 patterns for me to make with 4 skeins of yarn, hanks of yarn. And I was so excited to knit with good yarn and get paid for it. So I guess I'll show you. The first one I started on, and I do not have a Swift or a ball winder, so I had to have my husband help me wind a ball of yarn. So I'll actually put a picture on of him helping me. He had to do this, hold the hank of yarn so I could wind it into a ball, into this ball. So it's like a brown, maybe hard to see in here. Dark colors are hard to see on the camera, but it's it's a slouchy hat, which I do not have in front of me, the pattern. Anyway, it's a little slouchy hat with a cabled pattern. It got really gloomy in here all of a sudden. I'm sorry if you can't see it. But it's a cable pattern all the way around that you connect, and then you pick up stitches all the way around and then knit the hat. So there's that right now. And that's as far as I got on it, but that's the first pattern that I started. So that's really cool. Oops. Really exciting. Another pattern that they're going to have me do is another hat. It's called the Song of Peace slouch hat. And I didn't even look on Ravelry. It could be on Ravelry. I'm not sure. I don't even know if it's a free pattern, but they gave it to me. So it's that. It's going to look like that. And they gave me this yarn, which is like a denim navy blue. And there's like little bits of silver in it. Oh, you can kind of see it. And it's gorgeous and soft. And it's from local alpacas, which I think is really cool. So there's that. And then they have these fingerless gloves. They're, I don't know, French. I'm in Canada though. At ETFRAIS. I'm not even going to pronounce it because I'm sorry for being ignorant. It's these. Those are really cute. My cup of tea. Haha, ironically, because she's holding a cup of tea. And she wants me to make 2 of those. One of them with this tan color yarn. This is not, I guess it fell apart in transit. I don't want that to be a big naughty mess, so I'm not even going to play with it right now. But it is, this was the only one with a label, and it's 100% Surrey alpaca, I think. 4 ounces, 346 yards. Canadian alpaca products, homegrown luxury, soft, comfy, and warm. That's their label. Yeah. So that's one of the pairs of gloves is going to be that. I'm going to look up how to pronounce that word because I don't want to look even more ignorant than I am. And then the other pair is wow, sorry. Then the other pair is going to be in this green. So there's that, which I'm not really a green person, but I think they'll look kind of cool. So I'm really excited about that. And the fun thing about that is once I get all 4 of those in, which I'm hoping by next Saturday, because they're only open on Thursdays and Saturdays, I'll bring them in. They can, compensate me, whatever. But for every 4 projects that you do, you get a free skein of yarn from Canadian alpaca. So that's really kind of cool. A little extra fun and maybe some inspiration, which I kind of feel like I need sometimes. So I do have other projects that I'm working on and not thrilled about them. So maybe I'll have some more cool stuff started. Maybe I'll use some of my new yarn that I've showed you in previous episodes, and I'll get something started. But the stuff from Canadian alpaca is kind of cool because that is one thing that's kind of keeping me focused. So yeah, I don't know, maybe that'll kind of help me out with staying on track and just going, I guess. As far as food, because that is one thing that I like to talk about and make. We actually had some friends come over asking us about, they're asking us about our diet, and you never know what people are actually thinking, because you think, oh, nobody wants to eat non-meat stuff, but they were like, yeah, we're really interested, like, what do you do? What do you eat? Can I try a recipe? I made chili the day that they came. It's actually my husband's, a longtime childhood friend of my husband. He was just in their wedding a couple months ago. Actually, they had a roast pig in the wedding, and they wheeled it through, and I was like, I can't even look at that. And everybody thought that was really funny because people, through talking to us, found out that we did not eat meat or animal products. So the couple that came to visit us, they were like, we're so sorry. We don't see them often. They live about an hour away. They're like, we're so sorry about the pig. I hope you had something to eat at the wedding, which was fine. We totally had plenty of food. and they didn't know. We weren't going to ask for anything special because they didn't know. We weren't like, hey, guess what? So, but anyway, they were asking about our eating habits and basically wondering, like, because the wife, she's like, I love food. And I said, I do too. I like yummy tasting food. And she's like, I would want to just eat good stuff. And I agreed. So I was like, I'll send you some recipes or whatever. And funny enough, the husband, he's like, he looks fit. He's not, you know, whatever. I don't know. But he said his blood pressure is really high and he drinks a lot of soda, or as they call it here in Canada, pop. And he kind of wants to get off that. He wants to feel better. So he was almost more interested than the wife was, which was the same thing that happened with my husband and I. He was the one who was more interested in the vegan diet than I was at first. So, and funny enough, a couple days later after they came was when the World Health Organization came out with that study that bacon actually contributes to cancer. If you heard about that, they actually do have a study that processed meats and bacon, especially, I don't remember. I'm bad with the numbers. My husband's better. But we all know bacon's bad for you, but but it tastes so good. But this actually, the studies linked cancer to bacon, which is very sad for a lot of people, I think. But there are other yummy foods, I promise. So anyway, I don't even know well, I know where I'm going. I think I just got off on a tangent there. I have made recently a corn and potato chowder, which is delicious. Oh my goodness. And my husband takes his first bite of it and he's like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever had by far. The best soup you've made. And it tasted and looked cheesy. And so good. And I ended up making it another day too. I did follow a recipe loosely, and then I kind of adapted it for myself to our likings and like what I had on hand. So I will post that. It's, I mean, you can look up any vegan corn chowder recipe. I like chowder. I'm from New England. I don't know if it's like a nurture. I'm not really sure, but I do like, I've always liked chowders, but I don't, usually it's clam chowder, but I hate the clams in it. I'm like, I just like the corn and the potatoes. So why not make corn and potato chowder? And in the first recipe I made, I used coconut milk, which is very high in calories. We try to stay low calorie, but it didn't really matter that time. And it was really good. So the second time I didn't have any coconut milk. So I used almond milk, which we get for the baby. Which we don't really like, neither does she. But she'll drink it with like orange juice. Anyway, I didn't think it would be, the chowder, I didn't think it would be as good with the almond milk, but it was really good. So I'm going to post that recipe. And I think also, I'm not sure if I talked about the vegan sour cream before, but it took a lot of trial and error. And now my husband likes to dip everything he eats into sour cream. And sour cream is dairy. So I finally found a way to make sour cream that is not dairy. And it's delicious. So much so that everybody that we have try it loves it. My husband actually is at the gym with his brother right now. And his brother is not vegan, but he loves the sour cream. He'll just like eat a bag of chips and just dip it into that sour cream, which is made out of mainly tofu, which is gross. Tofu's gross, but with the right seasonings, it's amazing as sour cream. So he just brought some to his brother for the second time this week. We go through a lot of it, and thankfully tofu is cheap. So I will post that recipe as well, but the corn chowder and the sour cream you won't eat together. You could, I guess. I'd prefer to dip a baguette into the corn chowder. And I feel like I've talked more about food than about knitting. So I would like to get more exciting things done as far as knitting goes to make these podcasts better. I know I have a long way to go as far as improvement goes, but thanks for watching. I will do another episode really soon. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you aren't too bored. If you're watching right now, at least you stuck through it with me. So thank you so much. And if you have questions or suggestions, as always, let me know. I would love feedback. I don't know. That's it. So have a great day. Bye.